at that. There's a there's a pretzel. There's a pretzel, and here's some mustard. So I've been cornering myself here. And I gotta open the top. Jeez, Dan, gotta open the top. Look at that. There's nice mustard on that. On that nice. Here, I knew I'd get it somewhere. See, got some nice mustard on that. Nice salted pretzel. See, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Nice mustard on that nice pretzel. Got my nice chair, a nice pretzel. So you got me a nice pretzel. I'm not here to talk about that. This whole pretzel. I'm here to talk about my school years. I was born on 6/19/1958. Well, I'm an old dude, ain't I? Since today is 8/31/2015. It's nice to have a pretzel once in a while. Yeah, pretty nice. Pretzels are pretty nice. Although they are just dull. They got about as much nutritional value as a donut, probably. Maybe a little better. But I'm here to talk about my school year. I went to kindergarten twice. So I went kindergarten. Then first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth grade for elementary. Grammar or school or elementary school. I went to kindergarten first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. That was my kindergarten or my elementary or grammar school years. And I went to Edison on Russell Street in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I lived around less than a half mile from it. I lived less than a half mile from my popular place. That's my name, Dan Watts, 1319 Poplar Place, Kalamazoo, Michigan, 49001. I live about a half a mile away. Not even that. It's about a half a mile away. It's over off of Stockbridge. Poplar Place is between Stockbridge and Washington, or if you go the other way, it'd be March Street and James Street. So we'll go James Street, March Street, Stockbridge, and Washington. And mine was right in the middle of the lot, and I went almost all the way through to Washington, except for the house there. So it was a dead-end street. I lived there from 1958 when I was born, and 6/19/1958 when I was born.
to the end of June on 2014. That's 2014. Because today is 8/31/2015. So a little over a year ago, I had to leave. Well, that house isn't no more. It's torn up, taken to the dump, and filled in. Oh well. Just turned 3 o'clock, so you're going to hear my talk thermometer. It's 3 o'clock p.m. So you'll hear my talking thermometer in a minute. And I'm going to talk about my Ooh, 81. I'm going to talk about my school years, though. And if you're any one of my friends or anybody who knew me, go ahead and leave it in the comments, and we'll get together again. You can leave it in comments on my YouTube, on this YouTube video. Okay, so I was born on 6/19/1958, and I'm Dan J. Watts, or Dan Watts, Danny J. A lot of people call me Danny J. So I'm Dan J. Watts, Dan Watts. My school years, or my school life, my school life. How about my school life? Is when all these years end, they go from like this one. My first year of school was September 1st. They all started September 1st. So September 1st, 1963 to June 10th, 1964. So it always goes to the following year in June. So, okay, now my second year was kindergarten 2. Kindergarten 2, because I flunked, or they said they would be nice to me and say, oh, you got held back. Either way, you still got to do the damn grade over again. And that really pissed me off. And as you see it in my picture, that I was pissed off on it. Like that, because I was pissed, and I wanted everybody to know I was pissed that I was held back, and that meant I had to go through another year. So instead of the customary 13 years, I had to go 14 years in school. So I let everybody know I was pissed off. Show you my pictures of each year too. So my first year of school was September 1st, 1963 to June 10th, 1964. And right there is my picture for that year, my school picture. My second year was kindergarten, September 1st, 1964 to June 10th, 1965. And that's my school picture for that year. Okay, my third year, I started September 1st, 1965 to June 10th, 1966. And that's my first grade. That's first grade. And right there's my school picture. fourth year, which is started on September 1st, 1966 to June 10th, 1967, was my second grade year. And there's my school picture for that year. And then my third grade was September 1st, 1967 to June 10th, 1968. And that's my third grade. This is my third grade picture right there. Okay, then my fourth grade, I started September 1st, 1968 to 1969. And that's my fourth grade picture right there. And my fifth grade started September 1st, 1969 to June 10th, 1970. And there's my fifth grade picture right there. And my last year in grammar school or elementary school was September 1st, 1970 to June 10th, 1971. And that's my sixth grade picture right there. School. I graduated. I finally got out of that school. I never thought I'd get out of that school. I never thought I'd ever get out of elementary or grammar school. But then I went, and that school was named Edison, and it was on Russell Street, and it was across the street from the Catholic Church private school on Lake Street. And it's across the street of Lake Street, which was the Catholic private school. That's where it was. It was on Russell Street. That's where Edison Elementary was. Now they call it some other kind of. They give it a longer name, but it was Edison. Edison, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Kalamazoo, Michigan. I graduated from that school, that elementary or grammar school. I graduated. Okay, then I went to Milwood Junior High, which is on Balcoma Street. It's off of Miller Street. It's on Miller Road. It's on, but it's off of Miller Road. It's across the street from that park that's right there. And it's there's a park right there, and then it goes up the hill about 1/10 of a mile, and then that's Milwood Junior High. That's on Balcoma Street. Milwood Junior High is on Balcoma Street, but that's my seventh grade. I started there on September 1st, 1971 to June 10th, 1972. So that's my seventh grade picture. And then that went from 7th, 8th, and 9th. Milwood Junior High went 7th, 8th, and 9th. And so my next year, I started September 1st, 1972 to June 10th, 1973, which that was my 8th grade year, 8th grade. That's 3 and 5, 5 and 3, 8th grade. And that was September 1st, 1972 to June the 10th, 1973. That's my middle grade. It's the middle grade of middle grade, 8th grade. I went to 9th grade from September 1, 1973 to June 10th, 1974. So that'll be my 9th grade picture. to Lower Norrix School, Lower Norrix. And that's on the corner of Kilgore and Lovers Lane. Lower Norrix, Kilgore and Lovers Lane of Kalamazoo, Michigan. Okay, and I started there September 1st, 1974. This is Lower Norrix High School. I started there at September 1st, 1974 to June 10th, 1975. So that was my 10th grade year. There's my picture. I started my 11th grade year, September 1st, 1975 to June 10th, 1976. So 75 to 76. That's my 11th grade year. And there's my school picture. Okay, and then my 12th and final grade. My 12th grade year was September 1, 1976 to June 10th, 1977 when I graduated. I graduated high school on June 10th, 1977. So I'm a 1977 Norrix man, Lower Norrix. So I graduated in 1977 at Lower Norrix High School. And there's my picture. Today is 8/31/2015, and if you recognize any of those years or recognize any of those faces, any of those pictures of my school years, then hey, all I can say is start typing, leave it down there in comments, and we'll get together. But I was a Norrix man, graduated in 1977, and actually during my 77, when I was in 1977, I started Kung Fu Karate, which was this Okinawan karate over on South Westnedge at that dojo on South Westnedge, and it's around Crosstown Parkway, right across the street from I think it's Jewel's now. There's a store right there, but by Chicken Coop, there's Chicken Coop right there too, I think. But it's on Westnedge, South Westnedge. It's on South Westnedge, near Crosstown Parkway or Howard. Between Howard and Crosstown Parkway. But yep, I graduated there from Lower Norrix, 1977. If you recognize any of my pictures or you like anything I say or do, hey, leave down in the comments and I'll get back to you. See you then. Oh, I'm going to say same bat time, same bat channel. Actually, same time, same channel. That was Lost in Space in 1966, 67, 68. And then same bat time, same bat channel was the Batman of 1966 and 67, I think. I don't know if it ran 3 seasons or not. But I think it was 1966, 1967, 1968, 66, 67, 68, I think. That's when Lost in Space and Batman ran. Or they ran near it. Oh well. That's what that's from. Same time, same channel is from Lost in Space, and same bat time, same bat channel is from Batman of the 60s. And that's kind of it. I don't know how to juggle yet, so what I do is I practice coordinate myself by throwing these up, catch them like that. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I go this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I coordinate myself to go back and forth this way and that way. And then I use handball balls. Handball balls. See, these are handball balls. They're tennis balls like those without the fuzz. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like that. Then the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I use those, the handball balls, and also use these hot pink marshmallows. I paint them with my hot pink nail polish. You know, nail polish? I painted the marshmallows. These used to be white marshmallows, but these are hot pink marshmallows painted with my hot pink nail polish. And it's 1, 2, oops. And I growl anytime I drop one, so I growl. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The juggle, you gotta have one in the air all the time. I don't know how to do that yet. Then I got some glow in the dark balls. Check this out. Let's see. I got a green one. I actually got 12 of them, but there's a pink one, a green one, an orange one, and a yellow one. These are glow in the dark balls. They're super balls. You know, where you throw it down and bounce real high. They're super balls. They're only like about an inch big. So I never juggled these before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I never juggled those before. That was my yellow and green one. Now I'm gonna do my orange one and pink one. Whoops. I dropped it. So anytime I drop it, I growl. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are glow in the dark super balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's my glow in the dark super balls. Glow in the dark. Remember what I used to juggle? I just got the tennis balls and just got the glow in the dark super balls. But I'm here to talk about my childhood friends though. And today is, what is today? Today is 8/31. Today is 8/31, 2015. It's 1:46 p.m. on a Monday. 1:46 p.m. on a Monday. And it's 8/31, 2015. 8/31/2015, and these are my childhood friends. Okay, first there was Pat Fitzsimmons. He was about my age. He was, I think, a year younger. And Willie Cowley II, or Bill Cowley II, since he was like 13 or 14. He decided since he was a teenager he had to be called Bill Cowley. He had to be called Bill Cowley. So he went from Willie Cowley to Bill Cowley, and his dad is Bill Cowley Sr. And his mom is Betty Cowley. So Betty and Bill Cowley, and with his son of Willie Cowley or Bill Cowley II. And then there was Paul Range and Kevin Range. Actually, it'd be Kevin and Paul Range because Kevin was the older guy, the older kid. So it was Kevin and Paul Range. And later on the family had another son, which was Jason, but he died of leukemia. He was a good friend of mine too. Jason Range was a good friend of mine. That's how I remember him, because he was a good friend. He died when he was, I'd say around 10 years old, I think, 9 or 10 years old. Jason Range died of leukemia. He died next to Paul Range. He used to sleep in the same bed as Paul Range, but he died. Jason Range. He was a good friend of mine. He was like one of the best friends I ever had. And but back then I didn't know what death was, you know. And other than they're not gonna be around no more. And then there was Dick Judy and Robin Judy. They lived let's see, at the end of the street. They lived like right at the end of my dead end street, but it was on Washington Street because you go through the yard and it goes to Washington. And then these people used to live across the street who were called the Hamiltons, Mr. and Mrs. Hamilton, and they had kids, but they were a lot older, so they had kids that had kids. So I'm not sure if their last name was Hamilton or not, but the one boy had like sandy blonde hair or sandy brown hair, the sandy blonde hair or sandy brown hair, and I forget his name, but I'm not sure if his last name was Hamilton or not. But they lived across the street from me, the Hamiltons did, and but their kids came over with their kids, so those are who I played with, and then he had a sister. And I'm not sure what his sister's name was, but she was a blonde-haired girl. She was blonde-haired, and he was sandy blonde-haired. So I guess that kind of runs in her family. And I'm not sure if their last name was Hamilton or not, but those two, one was sandy blonde. The boy was sandy blonde hair, and the girl with blonde hair were both my friends. Whenever they came over, quite often. I guess they didn't live that far away, but because my street was near Stockbridge, like this, and then my street was a dead end called Poplar Place. Poplar Place was between March and James off of Stockbridge. March was behind me, and James Street was the other street. So it went Stockbridge, March Street, and James Street, and then after the dead end through their yard, through Dick and Robin and Judy's yard, was Washington. That was Washington Street. So it went Stockbridge, Washington, March Street, James Street, and then my street in between, halfway in between the block, which is the dead end street, which is called Poplar Place. I lived at. I'm Dan J. Watts. They used to call me Danny J. Everybody used to call me Danny J, or not everybody, but they'd say Danny or Dan. My name is Dan, D-A-N-N, J, and Watts, W-A-T-T-S. W-A-T-T-S, like a light bulb. Look on any light bulb, it says how many watts it is. That's what my last name is, Watts. So I'm Danny J. Watts, or Dan J. Watts. And I lived on 1319 Poplar Place, Kalamazoo, Michigan, 49001. And, okay, then after the Hamiltons, it was the Michaels, Annie and her sister. I forget her sister's name, but it was Annie Michaels, and then her sister Michaels, and then they had Jimmy Michaels, a lot younger kid, little boy. He was like 4 or 5, I think, at the time. And that was so it was Annie Michaels and her sister Michaels, and then Jimmy Michaels was later on when he's able to come out and play. But that was Ed and Mary Michaels. That was Ed and Mary Michaels. Ed was a lineman, or a electric lineman, where you got to climb a ladder or you climb the telephone pole. He was an electrical lineman for Consumers Power. So it's Ed and Mary Michaels, and they bought what happened is they bought some land, like 5 or 10 acres, had a house built on it, and then they moved from the street to there. I visited once before the house was even built. I mean, it was in the process of being built. But that's Annie and her sister, and then Jimmy Michaels. And it was Ed and Mary Michaels was their mom and dad. And let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. Dick and Judy Robin, or Dick and Robin Judy had a friend across the street on Washington. It's called Carl. He was an Afro-American or black kid. He was a black kid, skinny Afro-American kid. That he was a real cool dude. I liked him. His name was Carl. And let's see. And then this one person my mom used to know was called Elsie. She was Elsie. That was one of my mom's better friends, or best friend, one of her best friends. And she had a kid. She had a kid that I think first there's the older boy, and then there was an older sister called Marie. Marie, I'm not sure what her last name are though. And then the baby of the family, which was Henry, which was around my age, Henry. So it went Marie, Henry, it went the older boy. I think there's a boy, an older boy. And then there was Marie. Marie, and then there was Henry, the youngest, which was around my age. But their mom's name was Elsie. Elsie, we always called her Elsie. So I'm not sure what her last name was though. It was like Elsie, and then an older kid boy, and then Marie, and then Henry. But it was Elsie is what I remember. Anyway, then there was the Schaefers. The Schaefers that lived right next door to me. It was like my house and next door. It was Johnny, Jody, and Jeffy Schaefer. That's Johnny Schaefer, Jr., then Jody Schaefer, and then Jeffy Schaefer. So it's Johnny, Jody, and Jeffy. JJJ. Johnny, Jody, and Jeffy Schaefer. And their mom and dad was John Sr., and Irene Schaefer. John Sr. and Irene Schaefer. So it's John and Irene Schaefer that had Johnny, Jody, and Jeffy. They were about 10 to 11 years younger than me. The oldest was Johnny. And he works for Upjohn or Pfizer. He's been there since he was like 18 years old, so he's been there for like 18 years or something like that, or 20 years. But okay, then there was the Ensleys. They lived. See, there was the Lapin's house across the street from me, and then there was the Ensley's house. So Lapin's house was kind of kitty corner, because the Hamiltons lived right directly across the street. And then there was the Lappians with they always had evergreens around their house for around the porch, so they have total privacy. And that was the Lappians. But these Ensleys lived right next door to the Lappians, right next door. And there was Chuck Ensley, and he was divorced. He had a bunch of older kids, or some older kids, with a wife, and then they divorced, and then he got another wife, and had Sina, Tara, and Nikki. Sina Ensley, Tara Ensley, and Nikki Ensley. That's Sina Ensley, Tara Ensley, and Nikki Ensley. And so he had those three with the newer wife, and then he got divorced shortly after that, I guess, because I don't remember any woman there other than Chuck Ensley. I mean, Chuck Ensley was the head person of the house all the time. So, and then when Tara Ensley turned around 8 years old, she said that's when they moved from the street. They moved from the street, and so that was Chuck Ensley with those three kids. And then I knew a person from school. I became friends with this person in school. His name was Tim Allen, and he lived over on Division Street. So you go Stockbridge like this, then it goes March Street and back of me, and then it goes Division, and then you go down Division, across to Washington, near the train tracks. There's train tracks just before you get to Lake Street. And Timmy Allen used to live right there on the left-hand side, of the road. I think about 3 houses from the train tracks. But that was Timmy Allen, and his mother's name was Katie Allen. Katie Allen was his mother's name. I'm not sure what his dad's name was, but they were together. But I just never saw his dad, and I don't know what his dad's name was. But I was friends with Timmy Allen, and then Timmy Allen had a friend who lived like 2 houses down, named Ronnie Byers, and then I think he had, I'm not sure if he was the only child or if he had a sister or brother, but he was friend. Timmy Allen was friends with Ronnie Byers, and then Timmy Allen and Ronnie Byers were both kind of sports people. They like sports, you know, the seasonal sports, you know, like bowling and football and baseball and basketball and stuff like that, and hockey. And big time wrestling, you know, the wrestling. They all like that. And my mom was a big wrestler fan, big time wrestling fan. But you know, all that fake wrestling stuff. And she was also a roller derby fan. My mom was. But anyway, back to Tim Allen. Tim Allen I met at school, and we became friends. And he was just only a block away, if that. And he had a sister named Penny Allen. I think her name was Penny Allen. And then he had another smaller brother that was his name was Jimmy or Ricky. I think it was Ricky or Jimmy. I think it was Jimmy Allen, because he was Timmy Allen. So I think Jimmy Allen. Oh, look at that! It's 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock p.m. 2 o'clock p.m. today, on 8/31/2015. It's 2 p.m. That's what you heard in my watch on a Monday. On a Monday. And so it was Timmy Allen, Penny Allen, and Jimmy Allen, because Timmy, I think, was the oldest kid. So it was Timmy.
Good afternoon. The indoor temperature is 77 degrees Fahrenheit. The outdoor temperature is 79 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's my talking thermometer. And then Timmy Allen also had a person by the name of Brian Wadsworth. Brian Wadsworth was a redhead kid. And guess what we did with the redhead? We always called him Red. We always called Brian Wadsworth Red. Hey, Red. That was Brian Wadsworth, red hair. And he lived on Washington Street in an apartment, just about, I'd say, 5-6 houses away from Timmy Allen. And then there was another person, I think his name was Nash, lived halfway around the block. But no one was really friends with him. We were kind of friends with him, but not no big deal. I think I only met him a couple times. But that was Brian Wadsworth, was Timmy Allen's friend, and he was my friend. He was my friend too. And that's my list of friends. As a child, my childhood friends. And that's my list of friends, of all my childhood friends that I can remember. I might have 2 or 3 more friends in there somewhere, but they weren't friends that long because I don't remember them. But with Dick and Rob and Judy, they lived right at the end of my street, which they really didn't live on my street. There wasn't at that time, there wasn't no fence or anything between there. It was just the lot. Cars would go through their yard and into Washington Street, because that's where it led into Washington after the house. Because the house was actually on Washington. It's a duplex on Washington. And they had a cherry tree there too. I remember the cherry tree, but that was cut down a few years later. But anyway, I was real good friends with Rob and Judy, Dick Judy's sister, and she was 2 or 3 years younger than I was. I think she was 2 or 3 grades below us. But Rob and Judy, I was real good friends with her. We'd kiss and hug, and we're like boyfriend girlfriend for one summer, and then at the end of that summer, we were kissing on the. We decided we want to get on the picnic table and just lay there and just kiss each other, right? Just go lip to lip, lip to lip. So we did, and then we got done with that, and then I went over to try to kiss her again. She said, "Oh, my mom says we're not supposed to be doing this stuff." And so I chased her, and she went up on the picnic table, and she jumps off. She lands down on her feet, and then on her knee onto some glass that was there. Somehow there was some glass there. I don't even remember there was glass there, but we didn't find the glass until she went down off the picnic table onto her knee, right on the really sharp glass, and cut the shit out of her knee. Cut the shit out of her knee. And so after that happened, she ran home and was crying, and her mom took her to the hospital and had like 13, 14 stitches. I mean, it was really gashed, I guess. I didn't see it because as soon as she hit that glass, she ran home. But so I didn't really see it. But then she told her mom the whole story, and her mom says, "Oh, you ain't playing with them no more." So we never played again. And so then, like, I think it was like 2, maybe 3 weeks later, they moved and never saw them again. And that was Dick and Rob and Judy. There were some good friends. We'd go on the porch and act like we're the monkeys, because that was the thing back then. The monkeys. You know, and we'd act like we're the monkeys, and we'd sing on their porch and stuff, and say, "Oh, we're gonna form us a group. You know, sing like the monkeys, yeah." You know, the monkeys sold more albums than the Rolling Stones and the Beatles combined. The Monkees sold more albums than the Beatles and the Monkees, or the Beatles and the Rolling Stones combined back then. That was back in the 60s, 60 something, like 66 or something like that, 67. Whenever the Monkees came, or whenever the Beatles came over to the United States, because they came over, it was big deal on the really big deal on the Ed Sullivan Show was where the Beatles come over from Liverpool. Oh, Liverpool, London. You know, this is, and all the girls were fainting. Oh, you know, because they had this long hair, beautiful long hair, you know, and they were coming over from Liverpool, England. That was cool, man. All the girls were fainting and crying. Oh, it's the monkey, or it's the Beatles. It's the Beatles. But the Monkees, they sold more albums than the Beatles and Rolling Stones combined. When they were the hottest, when the Monkees, the Beatles, and the Rolling Stones were the hottest, the Monkees sold more albums than everybody. But then they got into an ordeal with their manager, fired their manager, said, "We don't need you no more. No, we're making all this money. We can make more money without you." And shit, once they did that, they were done. The Monkees were done. You never even heard of them anymore. But anyway, I just want to have a list of my childhood friends and see these used to be blue jeans I got from Myers. It was like, what is it? Like $10 jeans or something like that. And I had, after like a month I wore them, I got a hole in my knee somehow, so I just cut them off and made them shorts. And I got Pac-Man elastic, and Pac-Man elastic. I want to sew a nice button right there, and right there, and right there on this side and this side. That'd be cool. And have a nice, you know, because these are nice deep pocket jeans, and are actually shorts now. I sold those on there. That Pac-Man elastic. That's cool. You know, it's really cool. I like that. I'm not no designer or nothing, but anyway, I thought I'd list all my childhood friends, and right here they are. Right here you are. And if you like this video, contact me. Hey, we can get together and talk over old times. Oh, here's mine. I'm in the, you know, I've never thrown a boomerang before, other than little kitty boomerangs, you know. But it's a boomerang. It's got a what do you call it, kangaroo. That kangaroo right there, and then nice little design. Hey, everything I have is for sale, so if you like it, hey, let me know. But I mean, if you recognize me or don't recognize me, hey, I'm Dan J. Watts, Danny J. I'm Danny J. Dan Watts from 1319 Poplar Place, Kalamazoo, Michigan, 49001, and I lived there from 1958. This is when I was born. 1958 is when I was born. Until June 30th of 2014. So I lived there for 56 years. So if you remember, Stockbridge in Washington was on the other side of the block, Washington, and then these two were James Street and March Street back here. And then it went Division Street, and you go down the train tracks, and that's where Timmy Allen used to live. One of my second best friend. But anyway, I stopped being friends with everybody around 1973, 74, something like that. Back then, because I got tired of dealing with them. But anyway, I thought of this, my friends and my childhood friends and stuff. And if you see this video and you want to get together, hey, we can get together. Don't matter. But this is just so I remember it. But you know, I always say same time, same channel. Oh, that's right. I want to show you my my earrings. See right here? That's Reddy of Pac-Man. That's the red one, the red ghost. And then there's Pac-Man. See, there's Pac-Man. That's Pac-Man of the Pac-Man. It's my earrings. But hey, you know, I say same time, same channel. That was Lost in Space of the 60s, like 1966, 67, 68. I think I ran 66, 67, 68. That was Lost in Space. And then same bat time, same bat channel was Batman of 66, 67, 68, something like that. But I like him, and Lost in Space was my best favorite, and still is my most favorite episode ever. Lost in Space of the 60s, 66, 67, 68, or sometime like that. And see you then. Yep, I like video games. There's some pedal controllers and joysticks, and there's the Atari 2600. And there's my 7-inch AC/DC portable TV with a DVD player. Yeah, I'm into video games, and I like DVDs and series episodes like Lost in Space and the Batman of the 60s, Lost in Space of the 60s, I think 66, 67, 68. Same thing with Batman of the 60s. I like those episodes. And that's a cool ass TV right there. 7-inch AC/DC DVD player. And got my Atari 2600 hooked up to it. And got me a boomerang. That's a boomerang. How you like my boomerang? Pretty good size, ain't it? Yeah, it's a pretty cool boomerang. But yeah, I like all that stuff. And this light, this is a forehead light. See that? You put it on your forehead or your head, and then this part right here goes on your forehead. It's a light, and you just turn it on. It's a really bright light. Ooh, bright light, bright light. And here's some video games that I have. Mega Man. It's the anniversary collection. PlayStation 2. It's for the PlayStation 2. Then Xenophobe. Xenophobe is for the NES or Super, or not Super, it's Nintendo Entertainment System. And there's Metroid Prime for the GameCube. And here's some Atari 2600 games. Yards Events, Round, Mystical Man, Miss Pac-Man, Kegling, Latin word for bowling, and FC Battle, Mega Mania, Crystal Castles, Miniature Golf, Donkey Kong, or not Donkey Kong, God, that's Mousetrap, Berserk, Warlords, Video Olympics, and then Circus Atari, Superman, Street Racer, Demons to Diamonds, Night Driver, Haunted House, Video Pinball, Asteroids, Combat, Centipede, Pac-Man, Phoenix, and Pole Position, and Demon Attack, Atlantis. There's Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, Megaforce, Turmoil, MASH, Frogger, Space Invaders, Keystone Capers. That's a cool ass game. Kaboom, another cool ass game, and Pitfall, another cool ass game. Those are all Atari 2600 games. Yeah, I like all that stuff, and I'm going to turn off my light.
Let me turn my light off. That's my perfume Paris. But right there is my juggling balls, and